Welcome. Thank you for agreeing to be a part of Word and Worship life groups, more specifically for being a part of the study groups. I want to commend you on the work you've already done to this point, to get yourself to the point where God can actually use you in this way. And then thank you for agreeing to be a part of what the church is trying to do for spiritual formation. I want to share briefly with you a little bit about the life groups at Word and Worship, and then specifically about the study groups that you will be a part of facilitating. The goal of life groups at Word and Worship is really the overall Christian formation of our believers, of our members, that we would be formed spiritually, biblically, intellectually, socially, emotionally, and physically. These are the areas of emphasis for us, for our life formation. And every group that we have, every life group we have, must seek to enhance us in one or more of those ways. The types of life groups at Word and Worship there are four. There are study groups, social groups, there are interest groups, and there are ministry groups. I'll start at the bottom of the ministry groups. Those exist to mature and equip believers. That is to say, these are to train people who are in ministry and volunteers or leaders, ministry leaders, that sort of thing, pastors, deacons, and the like. Any type of equipping for ministry and leadership is done there. There are also interest groups. The interest groups are basically just that, interest groups. Everyone has a passion, everyone has interests, and we want to encourage and foster relationships built around those interests. And so these interests may be just activities, golfing, bowling, movies, theater, reading, whatever it might be. And they may meet occasionally, every now and then. It could be even during a particular sports season, that if there's an interest group for NCAA finals. So it could be anything. The idea is that we want to build community beyond Sunday mornings. The social groups are based on social structures. There are different age groups, obviously. There are singles, married, there are college. So any of the traditional social structures, the groups would be based on those. We already have in place men's and women's ministry, and we're working currently on developing a college-age ministry, and so there will be some social groups coming up soon. But the group that you are volunteering to be a part of, and that we are starting first, is the study groups. The study groups are the core of our small groups, of our life groups, and it is the study group that will act as the home base for all members. This is the place where participation in Bible study is gauged, is measured, is recorded. Participation in these groups is where we know whether or not members are participating in the community. And so in these groups, the attendance is captured, the Bible is taught, the teachings of the church take place in these groups, teaching and discussion on the foundations of Christian faith and on the core biblical studies. Those all take place in the study groups that you will be participating in, facilitating. Every member is assigned to a study group, and every member is strongly encouraged to participate in their group in order to be actively engaged in the process of Christian formation at Word and Worship. These groups are permanent and meet, to start with, they'll meet weekly. The groups can make adjustments if they need to. But each study group has a facilitator, a host, and a clerk for record keeping. Facilitator is the primary person facilitating the class. The host is the person who's hosting it in their home, who would also be the backup facilitator in case a facilitator was unable to continue in his or her duties. And the clerk is a record keeper to keep record of what's going on in the group, to keep attendance records and that sort of thing. I just want to emphasize one last thing, and that is that the goal for the group for facilitating is not to teach the group, but rather to facilitate learning, adult learning, where all of the people who are in the group participate, and the learning takes place through their dialogue with one another. The facilitators, though some of you are certainly qualified teachers, the goal is not to teach, but to direct and to facilitate learning. There are certainly going to be cases where you may need to reel someone in who is going off on a tangent, or the doctrine is not consistent with our faith, or have a completely twisted idea of biblical principles. Perhaps you have someone in class, you'll have someone in class, in a group rather, that is dominating the conversation, causing some others not to participate at all. You may have to deal with those types of things in order to facilitate conversation, dialogue, and then obviously learning. There will be ongoing training for you to keep you abreast of ideas, new ideas, and best teaching practices, as well as how to use the technology that we'll be making available. So your content basically will be prepared ahead of time. All the groups will be doing the same topic, but you'll have some latitude, quite a bit of latitude, in terms of how you go about dealing with that topic and what you come out with in the end. So we're excited about getting the study groups going, and we're thankful that you have done the work that you have done to this point, that God can use you in this way, and we're grateful to you for agreeing at this time to step forward and step up and step out in faith, and to do the work that God has called us to here at Word and Worship, to continue the spiritual formation of our members. So bless you today, and thank you again. I look forward to continuing the next level of training as we go forward in this endeavor. I hope you enjoy the time that you have with Pastor Sharon. She hates when I say that, as she prepares you for starting the groups up. God bless. Godspeed. Talk to you soon.